Hey guys, welcome back. This is the second lesson this week. Remember, you do have 3 lessons this week, which means you also have 3 video keyword submissions, so make sure you're doing those. For the most part, you guys are doing an awesome job at getting stuff submitted, so don't forget to do that. And don't forget the keywords. Some of you had a little bit of a forgetfulness last week and forgot to do your keywords, so make sure you're doing those. Alright, let's jump right back in. So we're still talking about polygons, but specifically today, we're talking about triangles. So how can you classify triangles? So remember, triangles are 3-sided. So triangles can be classified by the length of their sides. So these are 3 different ways to classify triangles based on their side lengths. So equilateral triangles, all 3 sides are equal. So you're either going to see these little tick marks on the sides, or it's going to give you the dimensions and they'll all be the same measure. Isosceles, that's where 2 sides are equal, so 2 sides are going to be an equal in this. So once again, it's either going to have these little tick marks representing that they're equal to each other, or it'll give the actual dimensions of the sides to show you that they're the same. And then scalene, none of the sides are the same, so they're all going to have different measures. So these are the 3 ways we have to classify triangles based on their sides. Now, they can also be classified based on their angle measures. So if we have 3 acute angles, so hopefully you remember what acute means. Acute means an angle less than 90. So less than 90 degrees. So if we have 3 acute angles, so 3 angles that are all less than 90 degrees, it's considered an acute triangle. A right triangle has 1 right angle. That means one of the angles, now it's only one, has to be 90 in order for the whole thing to be 90. Your other 2 angles will be acute angles. So you're going to have 1 90-degree angle or right angle, and then 2 acute angles. So right angles, either it's going to say 90 degrees in the angle, or it's going to have this little box to represent that it's 90 degrees right there. And then last but not least, we have obtuse. So remember, obtuse is greater than 90. So we're going to have 1 angle that is greater than 90 degrees, and only 1 angle. We can't have more than 1 angle more than 90 degrees, otherwise it's not a triangle. So you're going to have 1 obtuse angle and 2 acute angles. So these are the 3 ways we have to classify triangles based on their angles. Now, key thing, like I was kind of getting at, the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So that means, like I was saying, how we can only have 1 right angle in a triangle, and we can only have 1 obtuse angle. We're limited on the number of degrees we can have in a triangle. So that means all 3 of these angles, when we add them together, will equal 180. They won't equal 179. They won't equal 190. Exactly 180. No more, no less. Not 180.5. Doesn't matter. It's not a triangle anymore. So keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to look at a few examples down here to classify them and give you some practice. So if we look at this first one here, we have a 50-degree angle, a 70-degree angle, and a 60-degree angle. So what do you guys think? Is this, how would we classify it based on the angle measures? It's acute, yes. So let me prop this up over here. Acute. What else do we know? What about its side lengths? Do we know if it's equilateral? No, it doesn't have any markings and it doesn't have any measures or tick marks to tell us that it's got all 3 the same. Same thing with, we don't know about 2 of them the same. So that means it's scalene. Another way to tell that, when you don't have any side measures, if all 3 of your angle measures are different measures, then you aren't going to have any sides the same. So keep that in mind. That's another way to kind of help you in classifying. All right, so the next one, we have 60, 60, and 60. So what kind of triangle is this based on its angles? It's acute because they're all less than 90. Excellent. And what about for its side measures? What do we think? It doesn't have a marked But remember what I said about the angles. If you have two angles that are the same, then the sides across from those angles are going to be congruent. So if we have three angles that are the same, that means all three of the sides are also the same. So that means this is equilateral. Excellent. All right, the next one. What kind of triangle is it based on the angles? It's a right triangle. Excellent. And what about based on its sides? You have sides of 4, 3, and 5. Scalene, yep. And last but not least, what kind of triangle do we have based on our angle measure? So we've got 30, 30, and 120. So it is obtuse. And then what about based on its sides? So in this case, we do have all the side lengths. We have 5, 2, and 2. So that means it's isosceles. Now, if we didn't have those side measures, just so that way you guys can see this as well, this angle here and this angle here, because they're the same measure, that means the sides across from them are going to be the same measure as well, which is true. The side across from the 30 is 2, the side across from this 30 is 2. So that's how another way that you could take and see that it is an isosceles triangle if you weren't given the sides. Or vice versa, being able to know angle measures based on that as well. All right, so your keyword for this lesson is triangle. So everything that we talked about today, classifying triangles, you have 3 ways to classify it based on sides, 3 ways to classify it based on angles. When classifying triangles, you want to classify it as some sort of side and some sort of angle classification. So you're going to have both. So for any classification you do, you're going to have the 2 answers. You're going to say what kind of it is based on sides and then what kind it is based on angles. Okay? So keep that in mind, and remember, triangle is your keyword for this lesson. Have a great week and happy mathing!